I was living in Spain in 2008. We had the financial crisis, then the European crisis came along, and I was right at the epicenter of it. I predicted a lot of it, and we almost lost the entire banking system in Europe. Quite a few of us made money out of that. But why didn't we know? Why did nobody tell us that our savings were at risk? What we did was we reached out to the people who were impossible for anybody to have a call with. The best answer is to give you as much information as possible. A lot of people go from the don't tell me what to do approach, which is more traditional. They all exist together. Gold was the only answer for a parallel financial system. So gold is the asset of value. But we're in a digital age now. The world has changed entirely. When something like Bitcoin comes, it offers a different solution that complements gold. And blockchain technology is an amazing technology to verify trust. Blockchain solves all of this. It also solves everything from custody to payments layers to settlement, and you can build these amazing applications like decentralized finance on top. There's two revolutions going on. One is the revolution of money, which is Bitcoin, and one is the revolution of the entire internet of value, which is all of these blockchains from Ethereum to, whatever you choose, whichever blockchain you're looking at. And gold has been through bubbles. Clearly, it's not now. It's lasted the test of time. There is a perceived value and trust in the asset. But what's happening now is institutions are coming into the space. First, it was the hedge funds, the family offices. Soon are the pension funds and the investment advisors. And they're all coming in. And the more the market cap of Bitcoin comes up, it's about 350 billion right now, the more that they're forced to go in because it's such a ridiculously well-performing asset and they're so uncorrelated it is. So we've got a massive wall of money that's coming into the space. And for the first time in our lifetimes, we as ordinary people get to front run the institutions as opposed to them front run us. It's incredible. The world goes through these phases, and the more conservative people, the less risk takers, tend to be later to the party. So I think the banks are late here because they're going to get disrupted somewhat. We're going to be somewhere between 500 and $1 million within 5 years. And we should be somewhere between 100 and 300 in the next 12 to 18 months. So let's look at the world where most institutions have a 1% allocation, much like they do to commodity markets right now. Okay, so where do you go from there? Where do you go from the $1 million price target? It's now a lower volatility, accepted asset. We don't know, but that next phase would be the next level from that, which is what people call, the Bitcoinization of the monetary system. Whether that happens or not, I don't know, but Bitcoin is basically a call option on all of that to come. So there is no asset class on earth that has a risk reward that looks anything like that. It doesn't get away the fact that the central banks will use them to continually print more money. Now, you're not devaluing against anybody at that point. Sure, gold and Bitcoin go to the moon, and then that gives everybody the money for the fiscal stimulus that they need. And then after that, maybe you cap anybody in that basket at 2% money supply growth. Well, then it kind of looks like gold or Bitcoin. So there's a number of things can happen, but that debt's not gone away. We've still got problems here. But that doesn't mean it needs to be the biggest. Gold's not the biggest asset. And gold has many of these attributes, most of them, in fact. So gold is what, an $11 trillion asset. So maybe Bitcoin should be an $11 trillion asset. That kind of fine. Bitcoin is eating the world. It is literally, I run all the charts of Bitcoin versus every asset, and it's broken out versus every single asset on earth. And to such an extent that it's become such a dominant, such a superior trade in a portfolio that almost diversification doesn't work, doesn't matter. And for me, how I construct my portfolio, I have very aggressive risk in this, but I don't use leverage. And, I have other assets and I have income that I'm able to take this bet. But it is literally the most dominant asset I've ever seen.